So I'd like to tell you a story. Um, Turns out that about a year ago, I had to do a social service related to an institution that helped people on the autism spectrum. And I was really excited at the time, uh, b- but things didn't really turn out well. Okay, so for a little bit of context, I'm on the spectrum, and also, uh, I've had a pretty rough time accepting that. So when I came to that social service, it was a really bad experience, to say the least. So the institution in question talked really poorly about people on the spectrum, almost treating them like a plague. And that's why, well, that's partially why I wanted to talk about this topic. Neurodivergence. What is neurodivergence? So, is um, neurodivergence is a difference on the way people process the stimuli that surrounds them. So yeah, that's basically it. In some cases, people can consider it a disability. In some ways, well, uh, neurodivergent people have their advantages and disadvantages, but really, I think that the biggest disadvantage of a neurodivergent person is the stigma around neurodivergency. So, what stigma, you might be asking? Well, first of all, neurodivergent people have higher suicide rates, like 3.75 times higher than neurotypical people. And that's just one thing. Also, the life expectancy of neurodivergent people, the average life expectancy of neurodivergent people is around 40 something years. And why is that? Really, why is that? Well, a big part of that is um, stigma, is just pure stigma around neurodivergency. Um, I've seen a lot of neurodivergent people being called school shooters for no reason at all. Um, I've been excluded of a lot of things just for just for looking kind of weird in the eyes or in the perspective of neurotypical people. And I've had some pretty rough times related to will I ever be accepted and will I ever be happy being a neurodivergent people. Also, well, in the public eye, there's a really big, like, misunderstanding of neurodivergent people, especially from some of the major institutions who have a history of not being the most ethical in a lot of ways. Um, but yeah, uh, the point that I want to get across with this whole thing, is that as neurodivergent people, um, we should ask for institutions that truly represent us. We should ask for acceptance from neurotypical people, and also, uh, well, we should ask to end that stigma, because it's really heartbreaking when a neurodivergent person kills themselves because uh, their family says that they are a burden to them, and because their friends say that they are a burden to them, and everyone around them says that they are a burden to them, and nobody wants to be around them. So, yeah, that's what I want to change. Thank you.